But truthfully, like I know a lot of people that they claim that they can build your voice in 30 days, which is not true. It would take you a good solid year at least or more to develop that muscle in a way that could sustain that. So the question is, how do you develop diaphragmatic support?
How?
You push this
Today I'm so lazy to answer questions.
Well, I mean, if you remember way back when, I had you laying down on a floor on your back. I had you understanding belly breathing first, and then because here's what happens. So it's so ingrained in our brain that when we breathe, we huff this breath from our chest, the intercostal muscles in the lung. And this is the way, it's just natural. It's how we breathe, it's how we talk, it's how we, process the breathing mechanism. Now, most people talk about diaphragmatic support. Let me give you a little secret here, folks. That's not the only mechanism, okay? And the diaphragm, this is a secondary diaphragm. It's actually the main respiratory response muscle for breathing. So if I take a breath, it goes, and it converts this way, right? And then I breathe out, it goes, and it comes back. Now, if the lungs expand and contract, the intercostal muscles in the lung and the rib cage, if I go, and I take this breath this way and I go, and I collapse that muscle, I'm actually collapsing the diaphragm. Now I said there's-
My question is, what about the back? Is it only in the
Yes,
front?
so no, you're right. Good, okay,
back?
that's where I'm gonna get to the second diaphragm. So our main diaphragm, believe it or not, is down at the pelvic floor. So there's two diaphragms, one at the pelvic floor, there's transverse abdominis muscles and a bunch of muscles that go through the stomach. Then there's the main respiratory response muscle, the second diaphragm. Then there's the lung, which the lungs themselves, they got a great set of lungs. Actually, the lungs have little to do with it other than controlling the air or mitigating air. So anyway, yes, so back to the back part. So when you take your breath, remember we're laying on the ground. If you lay on the ground and you just sit there and you breathe from your stomach, you'll find that because your spine is flush or level to the ground, your rib cages stay in an expanded state. Okay, they don't collapse like they do when you're standing up taking your breath. When that happens, you can feel your entire abdominal cavity all the way to the sciatic and the spine, all the way down the buttocks. You can actually literally feel this whole breath. So it encompasses everything in the diaphragm, even down to the back, to the lower back. So when you take your breath, you're gonna wanna feel the sensation, hey, hey, and you're gonna wanna feel this strength that you have rather than if it's just from the lung, hey, hey. You hear the difference? Like one sounds like a roaring lion and the other one sounds like I'm gonna die in 3 songs if I'm lucky. So yeah.
No, let's say now, like, okay, I want to sing Iron Maiden. I want to sing Dio stuff. Like, how long does it take to build that muscle?
Okay, so it's not just the muscle because it's about open throat technique, and we'll talk more about that later. But truthfully, like I know a lot of people that they claim that they can build your voice in 30 days, which is not true. It would take you a good solid year at least or more to develop that muscle in a way that could sustain that.
Once you become a professional or someone that sings like me, let's say, a lot, then maybe if you don't sing for a longer time, let's say a month, then it takes 3 weeks to build it back.
Yeah, it atrophies, absolutely.
It does that.
You do.
Just so you know that.
And don't be discouraged of that.
No,
if you take time off, it's a muscle. You're weak. You got to get out and hit the gym and do it again.
That's pretty much what it is. It feels like it, right?
Yep, that's what it is. Yep. There you have it.